brothers and sisters, sisters who want to be brothers and vice versa. It's that time of the day you've all been waiting for.
Can Jesus see my weed? Is my EBT here?
No, you dumbass. It's the Moment of Reason with your host, Big B. Kale.
This is Big B. Kale here with your weekend edition of the Moment of Reason. And this story was sent to me by Chad Factor, and it is yet another story of a school teacher getting caught having sex with one of her students. This time it was a 34-year-old woman with a 16-year-old male out in Utah. And the headlines of this particular story caught my attention because this grown-ass woman is claiming that she is the victim because the 16-year-old student wore down her defenses and she just couldn't resist.
Utah high school teacher who had sex with 16-year-old boy says she's the real victim. Last year, we brought you the story of the now former Utah high school teacher who was busted for sex with a 16-year-old. Well, Brianne Altice has had her first day in court, and it ain't looking good. The 34-year-old teacher was nabbed after the boy described her tattoos and the interior decor of her bedroom. She also stands accused of giving the boy a less-than-spiritual experience in a church parking lot. In a Utah courtroom on Wednesday, Miss Altice and her lawyer came up with an interesting defense. She argued she was the real victim as the boy she claimed had aggressively pursued her. And she had no choice but to give in after he wore down her defenses. The judge was not impressed and ordered a September trial on 3 counts of felony rape and 1 count of felony forcible sodomy. Now, Tomo News isn't going to pass judgment on Miss Altice, but if you're on trial for a sex offense in the conservative state of Utah, you might not want to go to court dressed like a character out of an adult video about naughty teachers.
Alright, I'm going to tell y'all what really happened. That youngster was complimenting her in the hallways every day, and she began flirting back. When she flirted back, he saw that as a green light, and he began making sexual advances. After wrestling with the thought in her head once or twice, she took him by her home when her husband wasn't around, and she cold rocked this youngster's world. Alright? She threw that 34-year-old experienced pussy on this 16-year-old boy and turned his ass out. In fact, one of the things that she was charged with was forcible sodomy, meaning that they either had rough anal sex or she put a dildo to this boy. And this boy lost his mind because he had probably dabbled with the pussy once or twice with, them little young girls who were his age. But when you're that young, most of the chicks are playing hard to get, and they giggle and whisper back and forth to their friends how they left this or that guy with a hard on. Well, that is, unless you're in the black community. Now, folks, I'm going to get to the nitty gritty and tell you that a lot of these female school teachers who have these sexual affairs with young teenage boys, didn't like their own youth. And they're trying to relive that shit through these kids. Many of them were bookworms who had very little social lives when they were teenagers themselves. And they used their position and job to make this fairy tale happen. If you go to the video that is connected to the story and watch it, you'll see a young teenage girl who states that the teacher was a bit too involved with the popular kids' lives. And that is usually the case in these incidents. These chicks will become cheerleading and pom-pom coaches and gossip back and forth with these young girls, competing with them left and right, instead of counseling and guiding them into adulthood. And if you look at these cases even further, just about every boy these women are tossing pussy to is described as some sort of bad boy, thug, or at-risk youth. Alright? The youngster in this particular case was no different. Alright? He was using drugs and distancing himself. And I've always noticed that these stoner and loner type kids become total heartthrobs to women because they tend to tap into the nurturing aspect of their psyche. I mean, no matter how fucked up or bloodshot-eyed these kids are, these women are like, I know he has problems, but look, I can make him better. I can make him normal again. And they will sacrifice good relationships and even marriages, as this woman did. And she and her husband are rather lucky, in my opinion, that this youngster didn't get so into his feelings over the pussy that he didn't act out in violence. Instead, he did what a lot of scornful young women do, you know, when they are told that they can't have a guy that they want, which is snitch. Now, I want y'all to check this article out because, as I said in the header, this woman is trying to claim that she is the victim because the boy broke down her defenses. And with there being so many teachers getting caught giving the pussy away to these junior high and high school boys, you're going to see a lot more of their attorneys trying to claim that they were the victims. And I want y'all also to see that this coincides with the homosexual agenda. So don't be surprised if the gay community speaks on behalf of a few of these teachers, because they have been attempting to lower the ages of consent for years. And this is a perfect opportunity for them to disguise their motives through these freaky feminist school teachers. So y'all go on and check this article out. Peace.